but he was badgered repeatedly by the press about whether the Fed may need to raise rates again. But you know what? He's too smart. He never took the bait. Instead, with a little bit of sparring, he took the dreaded rate hike scenario off the table and the market rallied. Now, I want to make it clear that I hate even talking about Fed speak. That is a language, it's an odd jargon, created by all the Fed governors and the president's reporters and analysts who must just chatter each other and think it's really funny. We rallied in part because, as I just mentioned, the Fed isn't going to dump its considerable bond hoard into the markets, drive rates up, but we mostly rallied because many so-called experts on the Fed had come around the idea that Powell's gotten much more hawkish of late, which could be a nightmare for stocks, because the whole rally since last fall was based on the idea that the Fed was done tightening. Fortunately, these Fed speakers, well, they were wrong. Frankly, these people who try to game the Fed are almost always going to be wrong. First, they thought we were going to get 6 rate cuts. Then they said 3. Then they said 1. Then they said 0. And now, last week, they started talking about an actual hike. You know what? Here's what they were each time. And that's good news for the market. I think it could get more heated for the rest of the week, as we have to bet that the Fed was clued into Friday's employment report, even as I actually don't think that Powell's seen it because it's a tightly kept secret.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks up. Remember, I told you guys, do not be scared of the dips. And I'm going to get into that later. Now, we have Bitfinex says that consolidation could last 2 months. And I think we're just going to keep pumping and dumping until the Fed makes a move. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which we have the front and down and long and up. And yesterday and today, yield rate should have spiked on up. But, guys, we know we have plenty of manipulation. We know Jerome Powell clearly stated he wants to slow the economy, and we're going to keep rates higher for longer. And the 10-year yield should be making its way to 6%, but it's not because of manipulation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have the dollar slightly down, and guys, make sure you're paying attention to Japan. And we have volume and crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $438 billion yesterday. And I'm going to read this article to you. This headline, guys, it's amazing. Stocks open higher after the Fed decides to hold rates steady. That means the stock market should have went down because he's going to hold rates higher for longer. So we see how the mainstream media just twists and turns the information. That makes absolutely no sense. But we know as the sheep sleep, the NWO builds. Now, anytime we're going to take a pullback, they're going to price it in. And now stocks have some breathing room. And then plus, we know Janet Yellen has given us a little boost. But in crypto, we had a good pullback. Tomorrow, we're going to have options. But we know during this time, every single month, the crypto market moves up. That's why I stated, do not be scared of the actual dips. We now have breathing room. That's what you want, the volatility if you're a trader. I'm not talking about if you're a hodler. If you're a trader, this is what you want. And then on top of it, on the weekend, we're the only game in town. The only thing you have to watch out for is the geopolitical events. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. But Jerome Powell clearly stated they're not cutting rates. And then he actually stated in the next meeting, most likely they're not going to cut rates. And remember, we're paying over $1 trillion just to service this debt. So what do you think is happening to the economy? What do you think is happening to these small banks with all this commercial paper that's being silent? And then on top of it, we see small businesses taking a beating. Only thing I have to do is look at the statistics. They're late on rent. They're behind on everything. And we know the consumer is hurting because you can look at the credit card debt. But that's the reason why it's so important to sacrifice, learn this technology, and invest in the future. Because if the fourth industrial revolution is coming, the sheep don't wake up, you are prepared. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have U.S. lawmakers introduce a bill to clarify taxation on staking rewards. And guys, what did I tell you? The fourth industrial revolution, staking is going to be so important because this is a new way where you can pay interest, you can pay dividends. But this bill proposes that you only get taxed once. But if we have bills going into Congress like this, it's clearly letting you know they're building the fourth industrial revolution right in front of your eyes. But unfortunately, the sheep sleep. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs, so of course, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all down. And when it comes to these ETFs, we had over 500 million in outflows, 36 million in one day. And remember, the smart money is running for cover. The only thing you have to do is look at all the money, the trillions of dollars that are sitting on the sideline. And the NWO already owns about 70% of the globe. They're coming to get the other 30. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, getting over into a little crypto news. We have Solana to Bitcoin cross-chain bridge aims for Q3 of 2024 launch. And remember, guys, it's all about interoperability. And lastly, we have MoonPay users can now buy crypto via PayPal. And what do I always say? Whoever makes this seamless is the winner. And remember, there is no competition when it comes to the NWO. They're trying to bring everything together as one link like blockchain. Internet, you're entering into the net. It's a web. Everything is interconnected. And if you don't understand, I always tell you, go watch the movie Eagle Eye, because that's the NWO's goal, to have one main computer brain running this whole system. And just imagine when they start up these supercomputers, and the next Shemitah cycle is 2028, 2029, and the sheep are going to enter into the metaverse. Remember, the Hebrew calendar is 5,789 is the year. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. That's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.